to practice outside. So in this traditional Vinyasa practice, we'll begin with some grounding and centering and breathing. You can begin in a seated position as I am, or you can begin in your Shavasana on your back, as you like. We'll have about 3 rounds of a Sun A, Surya Namaskar, letter A, Sun Salutation, 3 rounds of our Sun B, and then we'll have a little fun with a Sun C. There'll be some core strengthening and warming. We kind of call that lighting the fire. And then from there we'll go into some yin poses using that heat that we've created to get deeper into the body and into the tissues. And then we'll finish with our final Shavasana. I hope you enjoy. So as you're ready, take your positioning on your back, on your belly, on your side, or in this easy seated position, and just begin to feel your body as it is, where it is. Anything that's touching. Noticing sensations. Noticing your body being grounded. Noticing and observing anything that's going on around you. Bringing yourself into present moment awareness. And then begin to bring your awareness into your breath. Inhaling in through the nose and out through the nose. Looking and listening and feeling for the breath. Bringing your mind and your body into this present moment. Connecting with nature. Feeling a part of and not separate. As you feel ready, if you're lying on your back, wiggle fingers and toes, finding your way into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's just begin by starting to move the head forward and back, kind of milking the throat and the neck. So we'll very gently just prepare our body for any other movement that's going to be occurring. Exhaling as you draw your chin to your chest, and inhaling as you come back to center. And then let's start to look over side to side. Exhaling as you gaze over one shoulder, inhaling back to the center. Exhaling over to the other side. And then begin to round in a seated cat and cow. Exhaling as you tuck and round. Inhaling as you extend. Exhaling as you tuck and round. Inhaling as you extend. It feels really nice. let's start to stir the body. I love this on the hips. Rounding back. The shoulders are making this little figure eight movement. Exhaling as you come forward. And then reverse that. So we're getting the torso involved, we're getting the hips involved. An overall energy builder for our power center, that solar plexus chakra at the center of your body and your belly button. Then as you come back to the center, let's switch the cross in the legs, which may feel a little less comfortable than the other way. And let's start to take a lateral stretch through the body, supporting with one arm and reaching up to the other. You can keep the gaze straight ahead or up. And switch sides. Very grounded in the hips. Let's get a little flowy with this movement as well. So as you're reaching up, let's reach out and across the opposite side of the body, come around to the front and over to the other side. Exhale and inhale. You might arch through the back just a little bit, taking a little bit of a back bend if that feels comfortable, or just keep it to the side. One more time each side. Exhale and inhale. Move your body to the center, and let's find our way into our child's pose. Remember that your child's pose is a great resting posture. Any time you need to take a break, remember to come here. We're not trying to force the body. We're trying to keep the breath very even. And so there may be times when you want to pause in the pose and stay a little bit longer. Ideally, traditionally, you try to stay with a tempo perhaps, and it might be one breath, one movement, as we were kind of doing in our warm-up. Or you may really just, in honoring your own body, want to take your own time. So again, just remember your child's pose is here for you to take a break. No need to feel like you have to keep up in any kind of way. Let's curl the toes under from here and get a stretch into the soles of the feet. Pressing through your hands, begin to lift your knees and feel that stretch deeper in your feet. And this may be enough, just keeping the knees down. And then pressing into the hands with the toes curled under, start to straighten the legs, lifting your hips up into downward facing dog. Then bend those knees right and left. So I usually use your child's pose as an alternative for this downward facing dog, or dolphin pose, which is just lowering onto the forearms, which takes some of that pressure off the wrists. Just relax your head and neck here, if this is where you are. Pulling in through the belly button and engaging those lower abdominal muscles as well as the pelvic floor. Those are our bandhas, two of our energy bandha locks. And then press back into the hands. Press back through your heels. And let's just take a walk all the way up to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Bending the knees and just letting the belly rest on the thighs. Shake your head out, yes and no. And just breathe in and out. Appreciating a moment just to be. And let's just start to roll it up one vertebrae at a time. You'll come all the way up to the top. Roll the shoulders back. Bring your hands to your heart center. And just feel yourself moving from toes to heels. begin with our Sun A, Surya Namaskar letter A. We'll inhale, the arms up overhead, gazing up to fingertips, and then bending the knees, pulling the belly button in. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bringing your hands to your shins or keeping them in front of your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the belly in and the knees slightly bent and the eyes gazing to the tip of the nose. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. You can always modify your plank on your knees from here, so observe here, uncurl the toes, or stay up high in the plank. So as you lower, hugging the elbows tight to the sides of the body, try to get your chest a touch first, and then relax the rest of the body. Fingertips right at the tops of the shoulders. Inhale into a gentle cobra and breathe in and out. Thighs are firm, the buttocks is firm so that we're protecting the lower back. And I'm really trying not to over push into the hands. Curl your toes under, press back to the knees into child's pose or downward facing dog. Exhale for 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd exhale, suspend the breath and let's float up to the top of the mat in between your hands. Inhale when you get here, halfway lift, hands on shins or on thighs or in front of toes or on a block if you need it. Exhale, fold, return back down. Reverse swan dive all the way up with long spine. Inhale to gaze up to the fingertips. Exhale, hands to your heart. That's 1 round. Take a moment to pause and feel. Inhale, rise, gaze up. Exhale, fold, swan dive. Halfway lift, gaze to the tip of the nose. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, and as you lower, exhale the breath. Inhale, lift your heart in a cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths here. Keep the gaze steady right between the knees or even up towards the belly button. Exhale, retain the breath at the bottom of that exhale, floating your feet up to the hands. Inhale when you get here. Exhale, let it out. Bend your knees, reverse swan dive. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pause. That's our 2nd round. For our 3rd round, I'm just going to call out the breaths. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back or jump back, lower down, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths here. Focus on the sound of the breath moving in and out of the body. Tailbone lifting up high to the sky, firmly planted through your feet and through your hands. Exhale all the way to the bottom of that exhalation. Retain the breath. Walk, jumper, step up to the top. Bend your knees, gaze forward, little bunny hop. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, reverse swan dive. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, and pause. Bring your arms all the way down into our mountain pose and take a moment to observe. into our Sun B, Surya Namaskar, letter B. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Inhale into our fierce pose, raising your arms. Pull the belly in. Natural sway to the lower back. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your forehead to your shins, nose to knees. Inhale, halfway lift, extend. This part looks pretty familiar. Step back or jump back. Modify on your knees if you need to. Exhale, lower down. If your spine is ready, lift up into an upward facing dog. You're going to firm the thighs, lifting the knees up off of your mat. Extend through your arms and lift through your whole body. Feel long through the neck. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, the right foot is going to step through in between your hands. Pivot on the left foot, round it, and start to rise up. Inhale, warrior A. Get your gaze centered at the horizon, up to the sky, or down to the top of the mat, depending on how you're feeling. So if you're very energetic, you're feeling balanced, look up or straight ahead. If you're needing a little more balance, look towards the earth. Lower the hands, step back with the right foot back into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, or that upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, or child's pose. Left foot steps through right away. Pivot on the right. Inhale to rise. And let's breathe in and out. Decide where you want to take your gaze. Extend and get long through the arms and through the neck, so we're not all the way up with the shoulders. They're relaxed. Lower the hands, step back with the left foot, and take your flow. High to low plank is our Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Guess what? 3 breaths here. At the bottom of this exhale, walk, jump, or step up to the top. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, let it out. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Inhale into your fierce pose. Exhale, come to standing legs and pause. That's round 1. Feeling the beat of your heart. Noticing your lungs moving in and out. Any sensations in the body, being completely present. Begin again. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Inhale, fierce pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back and lower down. Exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps through. Inhale to rise. Lower the hands and step back. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Downward facing dog is an exhale. Left foot steps through. Inhale to rise. Exhale. Don't let all the breath go too quickly. Finish it off here. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. 3 breaths here. Allowing time to get centered, to reconnect with the breath and the mind if your mind has gone astray. Retain the breath at the bottom of the exhale, pulling the belly button in, squeezing the pelvic floor, floating up to the top. Halfway lift, inhale when you get there. Exhale, let it out. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, come to standing legs. And pause. one more round, and again, I will just call out the breaths. Fierce pose, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back and lower down, exhale. Inhale, lift. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right foot through warrior A, inhale. Stepping back and lowering down, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot through and rise, warrior, inhale. Lower the hands, step back, lower down, exhale. Inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. 3 breaths here. Taking a moment to get really grounded and reconnected. Retain the bottom of the exhale. Float to the top, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it go, bend your knees. Inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, standing legs, and pause. Close your eyes and just breathe. Our third round of Surya Namaskar, letter B. For our next round of sun salutations, we'll just add on a few more poses that may feel familiar to you, and we'll call this our sun sea. Begin again with your chair pose or your fierce pose. Inhale. Taking prayer twist, right arm over to left thigh. Square the hips, gaze up and to the elbow. Inhale. Exhale, let all the breath out. Inhale back into your fierce pose. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back into fierce pose. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Taking our flow again, step back and lower down. Exhale. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time let's take the right leg up high to the sky. Bending the knees, stacking the hips, circling the ankle. Bend and straighten the knee. Circle the hip. And then as you come back to the center, lift that right leg up high. Inhale, knee to nose. Come forward into your plank. Back up high to the sky. And then step it through. Warrior A. Inhale. Opening arms wide into warrior B. Exhale. Reverse warrior. Left hand on the left thigh. Right palm up to the sky. Inhale. Side angle pose. Bring the forearm to the thigh and stretch the right arm up to the sky. Your left arm rather, and then take an extended pose, reaching that hand over the head to the crown. And then we're going to lower all the way down to the inside of this right foot, and then we'll walk around to the front and take the body side to side in this deep lunge. Side to side. Taking it over to the left, pivot around, and then when you get there, step back with that left foot, and let's flow. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's take the left leg up high to the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hip, look for the toes. Bend and straighten the knee. Circle the hip. Back up high to the sky. Step it through. Inhale, warrior A. Open up, warrior B. Reverse, inhale. Side angle pose, exhale. Extended side angle pose, reach. Lower the hands down to the floor. Coming around, lunging side to side. Let the knee follow the toe. If you need a block here, place a block on your hands to bring the earth up. Let's come back around to the right. We're going to step that left foot together. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, come to stand. And pause. That was one flow through. Bend at the knees, bend at the hips. Inhale. Prayer twist. Exhale. Inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, prayer twist. Inhale, fierce pose. Forward fold. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Step back and lower down. Exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg high. I think I missed something on the other side. No worries. Bring it up high. And then draw the knee to the nose. Back up high. And step it through. It's just yoga. Inhale. No worries. The earth is not going to fall down around us. Open up. Exhale. Reverse. Inhale. Extended side angle pose. Exhale. Lower the hands to the floor. Walk your way around and come side to side. Now another option is to bring the hands in prayer and come up and over, if that feels comfortable. Come all the way around to the left. Step back with the left foot and take flow. Exhale. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg high to the sky. We might have to do two, because I think I forgot this on the other side. Exhale, bring it in. I want you to be even. Back up high to the sky. Do it again. And let's step it through this time. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. Reverse. Inhale. Extended side angle pose. Exhale. Bringing it down and around side to side. Exhale and inhale all the way around. Step that foot back together. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, fierce pose. Standing legs. Exhale, second round complete. One more time. I'm going to give you a few less cues this time, so you can really just go on your own if you're ready. Bend your knees. Inhale. Prayer. Exhale. Inhale. Fierce pose. Exhale. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Step back and lower down. Exhale. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. Right leg high. Bend the knee. Back up to the sky. Knee to nose. Exhale. Back up high. Inhale. Spread those toes. Step through. Inhale, warrior A. will be reverse inhale, extended side angle, exhale, lower to the ground, come side to side, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, all the way over, come around, step back with the left, flow. Left leg high, scorpion pose, bend the knee. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, inhale, step through. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring it around. All the way over. Step that foot together to meet your right. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, bend your hips. Inhale, fierce pose. Hands to heart center, exhale, and pause. Let's build a little heat in the body. Inhale, fierce pose. Forward fold, exhale. Take a moment here to give yourself a hug and be grateful. Kiss your knees. Back is happy here. And then plant the hands and lower to your bottom. Let's take Navasana boat pose. Pull the belly in. Find the sits bones. The back is not completely straight. Maybe a little bit of a rounding in the shoulders just for protection. And just breathe here, pulling the belly button in. We can come to one leg at a time, tabletop, supporting or not. I just got distracted by a little squirrel bouncing over there. It's in the present. Breathe in and out here. You might take a twist, engaging the core a little bit more. Inhale and exhale. If you need to, the feet can be lowered. And then let's hold one more time. Can we find the edge of where we'd like to be here? So you might lift the legs. The legs might be straight. You might grab your big toes with your peace fingers and extend the legs up. Pull the belly button in, engage, or maybe even open up. Press through those heels. And then bring it all back together. We're going to find our way back into our plank. Lower to your knees, lower to your forearms. And so let's layer this a little bit. Holding in a forearm plank, you can always rest the knees, keeping the belly button pulled in tight. You may want to rest your feet too. Staying broad through the upper back and shoulders. Again, making it more challenging by lifting the knees. Making it more challenging still, taking one foot out at a time. So we're just building a little bit of heat. Keep pulling that belly button in. And then holding from right here, walk your feet up. Gazing right in between your hands. Try to relax the neck. And just pause here. So we're not dumping into the shoulders. We're pushing against the earth with the arms. And then walk back out. Breathe. One foot at a time. So remember, if you're not practicing that, you might just be here or alternating. And then one more time, walk the feet in, gazing down, mount the heels if you need to, bend your knees, stay firm through the upper body, walk it back out, and lower. Let's go belly down. Arms out, cactus arm position, right ears relaxed, big toes together. Shift those hips from side to side. Feel the breath in the upper back, really filling up the lungs. Turn your head on the other side and rest here. It's a nice way to get re-grounded. Got asphalt on the arms. To get re-grounded after our work. And then we'll start to get into some yin poses. All right, I think my mat is clear. Bring your hands back underneath. Let's press back into downward facing dog or child's pose. I'm going to give you two options here as we get into our hips. Take pigeon pose or deer pose. Bringing your right knee to your right wrist. Extend your left leg back. You might be here. You might sit on the right hip and bend the left leg. So the legs make these little crooked letters, turning your body towards that right thigh. So the shoulders are more squared. Whether you're here or whether you're here, let's flow just a little bit. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, coming up. And then on this next one, let's lower down to forearms. And breathe here. Lower and continue to walk the arms forward. You could even use your block here for your forehead if you like. And let's take 5 cycles of breath here to just relax and let go. Start to come up nice and slow. Before we do the other side, let's bring the left leg around to the ankle or the knee or all the way around to the other side, lifting up through the crown of the head. Keep your body nice and tall, and let's start to twist to the left, supporting the left leg with your right arm and your left arm back behind your back. Gently twist through the spine and breathe. Gently unwind. Let's take that leg back, coming back into your downward facing dog or child's pose. We'll get ready for the other side. Bringing the left knee to the left wrist, extending the right leg back, or sitting on the hip and taking our deer pose here. Turning the body over so that we're centered over this left thigh. Begin to flow. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. One more time. Coming all the way down this time. Supporting on the forearms. Resting the head. Walking those arms out a little bit more. Breathing in and breathing out. 5 cycles of breath. Coming up nice and slow. Have a seat on that left hip. Bring the right leg around. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the left arm around. And that right arm back behind your back. Sit into the hips. Pull the belly in. Relax the shoulders and gaze over the right shoulder. Untwist the legs. We're going to slowly find our way back to the back on your mat. And as you get there, just unwind. Let's draw the knees into the belly, giving yourself a nice little hug. And then a nice little detoxing move before we do our Shavasana, holding on to the knees. Inhale to push the knees away. Exhaling to draw the knees in. Inhale and exhale. Feels super yummy on the low back, and it's a nice internal hug for your abdomen and your intestines. You can circle the hips around if you like. And then if you want to, bring the soles of your feet together. Just let the knees fall open. Arms either out to the side or over the head, holding opposite hand, opposite elbow. Relax here as long as you like. And then find your way into your final Shavasana when you're ready. Nothing left to do here, but simply be still. Simply be. If your mind is still busy, perhaps within your mind saying these 2 words as you inhale and exhale. Inhale, be. Exhale, still. Inhale, be. Exhale, still. permission to stay here as long as you like. I'd like to leave you in your Shavasana. The light within me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste.